So there's the video where I got the inspiration to do this custom build on the Ford AMT 600. Mine has now become a Ford C900. And I went ahead and contacted this outfit, and I did get their permission to use their video, some clips from their video. And that's why I'm sharing it with you guys today. Look familiar? 1965 Ford C900. It's actually a 1965, so you're going to have to do a little bit of backdating to kind of get it right. Alrighty. And leads me to the subject matter. Let's back off a little bit, just a slight bit. There we go. Now, as I went back and cleaned up the Sharpie marker mess that I made, and retouched the paint a couple more times, and let me see. Yeah, that means I wiped out the silver lettering I had painted so nicely in the front, the Ford lettering. So we're gonna have to redo that again. It's no problem. It's fine. It's a piece of cake, and we'll do all that today. What I wanted to share with you guys here is something that caught my eye about these rigs when they were running when I was a kid was their boxy shape. But something beyond the boxy shape, it was all the contours that to me fascinated me. Why would they put these contours, these big cheeks and these, jowls, and it just fascinated. The shape of it fascinated me. When I bought the kit, as soon as I saw it at Brookhurst Hobbies, I scooped it up off the shelf. I didn't even look at the price. And it was not this kit. I believe it was my Coca-Cola kit. And first thing I did was I tore open. That's that girl. To look at the cab. The only thing I could think of, you could tell it's bare bones. It's done for economy wise, get you something for your business to move freight around. Ford offered this option as the cheapest, I guess, the least. In other words, they didn't spend big bucks to sell you something at big bucks. This was for you to run your business, and there was a lot of it was basically bare bones. Is what I'm trying to say. So what catches my eye? Why did I tear into that box? It was the shape of the cab that was still embedded in my head. It was sort of like nostalgia. First thing I grabbed was this, and I was happy as pie. It was like drinking a tall glass of water after you walked across the desert. That's how I'm going to say it. But still, she did not come alive and start to take on her own personality. So I started adding all the details and taking away details, and I added the see-through vents and stuff. So this leads me to what I want to talk about. The topic of this video is I've had it painted full body color. We've seen it on the video. She's gorgeous. The Tamiya paint's awesome. The finish is perfect. I didn't want to dull coat her, and I didn't want to shoot her with Simicoat, and I didn't want to shoot her with gloss just quite yet. There was something it needed a little bit more, and I knew what it was, but I was afraid to say it, because if I did it and I ruined it, then I would have been out of luck. Unfortunately, I should say. Fortunately, because all the mistakes I did this weekend, and I painted this thing over like twice already, now I have the confidence that if I mess up, it doesn't come out right, I could just shoot it with paint in that area and it'll be fine all over again. What I'm talking about is shading. So I'm gonna go back to my Armor days here. So she's gonna be totally yellow. I already went ahead and did some experimentations as far as shading is concerned. These are kind of rough, but if you look closely, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's some shading going on there with colors. And that's what we're going to do to the cab. But I didn't want to do the whole thing, you know, gummed up in shading quite yet. I have sat here since I shot that last video, literally, not working right now, but literally day and night, literally day and well into the night. And I'm just staring at this thing. I actually took it into the office a couple times and stared at it while it was sitting at my desk, and until it finally hit me where I wanted to go. So we're going to do some shading, or in this case, I guess it would be anti-shading, in the high spots of the areas that caught my eye. And I still remember back in my brain when I opened that box that I bought at the hobby store and I tore into that Coca-Cola kit and I grabbed this cab out, is those shapes. And that would be the cheeks, the high round cheeks here, back here. Maybe I'll do a little anti-shading. I'll call it anti-shading for now because it's going to be lighter than the body paint. Here in the front, just here. Not the whole thing, just about right here. And believe it or not, I've already done the roof on this guy. If you look closely, you can sort of see the effect. I was just experimenting there, so I'm actually going to keep that. I'll clean it up here. It's got a little bit of primer there. That's no big deal. But that's the only areas. I'll do a little bit of shading back here, anti-shading. Let's call it anti-shading because I'll be shooting lighter than the body paint. I'm going to do a little bit of shading. I've actually already did it. It's kind of like right here, this area and this area, the high spots. Maybe I'll get in here into these crevices. I'm not sure. I don't want to get too crazy away like I used to do, or like armor modelers do on their modelers. But I did use this technique previously. I did a Panzer IV. I did a Sherman tank. And I believe I did a Sturmgeschütz, a Stug 3 with shading, and it just blew me away how it came out. And then with the, let's get away from talking about that. I'm not going to get that crazy or that involved in this, but I do feel she is screaming. Also, what gave me the idea to go the shading route was I had to repair some damage here, and I had to hit it with primer. And just that odd, that the contours, curves, and shapes of this body. You know, let me give an example, a better example. You know, that's what we're used to. Just a plain big box. Incidentally, those of you guys who are wondering, this is how you clean up the seam and add your correct rivets on the Freightliner seam project, which I have not touched in a while. So that crazy guy who shot all those videos last year or 2 years ago about the seam, and that was me. That's her. But we'll get to her in a bit. Let's focus on you. The C900 has way too many nice curves and cheeks on the doors and stuff. She's just screaming for those to be highlighted slightly. And I'm going to go ahead and do that with slight. I mean, it's going to be very slight. You're going to have to look hard, but you'll see it. I don't want it to stand out, but that's where we're going with her. We're going to do her right now. We'll clean her up a little bit, do a little bit of masking. I'll shoot the paint, and then we'll come back in about an hour or two, shoot another quickie video with you guys and share the results. And then we'll proceed with the build. Come on back.